Today I'm going to introduce you to a simple, easy to use tool that is an absolute game changer when it comes to uncovering the root causes of problems and finding unique perspectives and different places to intervene for change. This tool is called the Iceberg Model. Here's how it works. Only around 10% of an iceberg is above the waterline, and about 90% of the remaining structure is underwater. So while you only see the tip, it's the movement of the structure underneath the water that's causing the behavior that you see at the top. Now, the iceberg model uses this as an analogy for how problems manifest. At the top, the visible layer, we have events. We tend to take in the world as a series of events. Wildfires rage across Australia, record temperatures in Denmark. It's here that we notice there's a problem and tend to experience some sort of discomfort prompting a reaction. I also call this the symptom level. Now, a lot of our problem solving stays at this level, which means two things. First, you're only reacting to things that have already happened, so there's no predictive or preventative value at solving things at this level. But then secondly, you're not addressing any of the structures that have created the problem, so they tend to pop up again and again. Oh, and make sure you stay to the end because we'll be applying this model to a real life problem to see how it works in practice. So if we go a bit deeper in our iceberg, we start to notice patterns, the same thing happening over and over again. So to get to this level of abstraction, we can ask ourselves, what's been happening over time? If you're able to start to see patterns in how or when these events occur, then you're able to unlock the ability to anticipate the events before they happen, so you can intervene at an earlier stage or even before the event happens. If you look below the pattern level, you get to the structure level. You get here by asking questions like, which structures are creating the patterns that I keep seeing? Structures can be physical things, they can be ingrained habits, environments, policies. This is where it gets interesting because now you can find things that can be redesigned so that you reduce the likelihood that the problem is created in the first place. Finally, if we go even deeper, we get to the paradigms, the mental models that are the source of the entire system. These are our beliefs, our attitudes, our assumptions about the world. They are the values that shape the structures that we create. And if we can change these, we can transform whole systems. Typically, interventions made at the deeper levels tend to be longer lasting and more effective than those made at the more surface level. So that's our iceberg. Now, let's apply this to a real life situation. Suppose you have a problem with overconsumption of clothes. You open your closet one day to find that the majority of the clothes in your closet you don't even wear. That's an event. Now, you might want to react to that event, you donate some clothes, but you haven't really done anything to prevent the problem from popping up again. If you look back in time, you start to notice some patterns. Like most of your binge consumption happens during times of emotional stress, like during exams or during your last breakup. So you start to see patterns and you can start to anticipate when overconsumption will happen. Now we can go a level deeper and try to figure out what are the systems that are enabling these patterns. And some of them might be, for example, that you don't have a strong support system or you don't have very good coping mechanisms. So we can dig a level deeper and try to figure out what are the beliefs or assumptions that are shaping these structures. And they could be, for example, things like your belief that asking for help makes you a burden, or your belief that your problems are not big enough for professional help, for therapy. So maybe your solutions don't involve clothing directly. Instead, they look at changing your beliefs about reaching out for help, or building up a better social support network, or even putting in safeguards that kick in and stop you from shopping during times of high emotional stress. This is a completely made-up example and an oversimplification, but it's here to show you how the iceberg model can be used to help you uncover new interventions and possibly see old problems from fresh perspectives. If you've learned something new in this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.